to the February Urban Forestry Committee. We're going to start by taking a roll call to determine a quorum, and we'll start with Dr. Lau.
Jan Lau's here.
Joe Scott. Carol Hannah. Judy Mitchell. Terry Dodd. Okay, we've got a good group here. So first off, we want to welcome our new committee members, Julie and Letty. And we've been wanting to add some expertise for some time and know that you two are going to be able to add a lot to our, and it's a very informal meeting. We don't, you can see we don't have a big crowd usually that comes to it. It's usually just us. So feel free to just add any comments or questions as you go along, and we're just glad to have you. Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. We all met on February. Oh, okay. Okay.
Did orientation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice. Very planning documents that we have for our board, talking about our projects and our strategic program. Yeah, so,
Good.
yeah. It's fine.
Okay, so we do need to take care of the meeting minutes from last month. And if you've had a chance or want to glance through those real quick from our on our tablets here. Whenever anyone's ready, I'll accept a motion. Accept. That's not. Well, entertain. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept minutes.
Okay, do we have
I'll
a second? All right, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Okay, so we are, look at Julie logged on there and we'll be ready to roll with our business tonight. Everybody. We're just. It again.
Never use it. I use a desktop and
Sure, okay.
I'm not good
Okay.
at it.
All right. Figure this one out tomorrow morning. Okay, all right, thank you very much. So for old business, we have two updates I wanted to share with you. On March the 4th at 2:30, Carol Hannah and I were going to meet with a few from the science department. There at the middle school, the lead there for the science department, Melanie Hart. Robert Frost going to join her, and then she gave me a couple other, I think the Johnsons, they still be involved with conversations there, as well as there's Darren Phillips, is his name, and then Meyer, last name is Meyer, said she would be interested in joining the conversation. So it sounds like their entire department are interested to learn more about our Free Campus K-12 program. It's really, really excited about it. They had initially talked about having an interest. They have 13 science classes altogether and planting 13 trees. So each class would be able to select their own tree, learn about that tree, and then be a part of planting. So all of that would take place in spring 2026. So our plan is, because it's kind of year-round program, we'll start planning and having the conversations, taking a look at the curriculum, getting ideas, and it'll give me time from, say, April this year until August, September. And at that time, the school will make a pledge to commit to working with programs for the 2025 to 2026 calendar. And then we'll continue to do some pieces of education along the way. And then in spring of 2026, we'll have a hands-on experience as well as Arbor Day celebration of some sort that we'll work together with them to see how they like to celebrate that. A lot of schools, we do planting activities, but we're not limited to that. So excited to kind of see what their thoughts are. And so we'll just, the next 6, 8 months, build that program. And I think that, we've all talked about it, that here is just maybe just starting small and then building each year. And our goal was to start with an older class group, maybe we use them later on as mentors, teachers and educators for the young ones, and then get that program into our high school as well as the elementary. So I know that I talked to the gals, I know you're all aware of our good working relationship that we have with elementary. I'm going to share a little bit more information about that here later on tonight, but I'm really excited to kind of see, what thoughts that they have. Really want to take this and start building this program for our community. We only have, I think there's 4 other schools in the state of Indiana that have this recognition. So our Indiana DNR department, the Division of Forestry there, that team, as well as nationally at Arbor Day, they're really wanting to go with this program. So I think that we can be, good. It seems to be more of the northwest part of Indiana that the program is prevalent from yet. So kind of rating it. That hopefully we can work and help other communities and school systems to be able to get a big pull and see that program work. So we'll bring back here at our next month, what we learned, and we'll pull you all in on those pieces. Any questions on that piece? And then just to let you know, our Tree City USA is a part of Arbor Day Foundation as well. The other recognition that they give out. So we have been a Tree City USA community for 14 years. We apply by the end of each year, so December 31st of each year, we have to get our application in. And there's 4 requirements: to have an active tree board, a tree care ordinance that is being worked, and a commitment that we are committing $2 per capita, which I shared with Julie and Loretta. Our numbers, I kind of asked them, how much do you think that we invested in our urban forestry and tree programs? And I think they were around maybe 40,000 or something around that mark. And seeing that we're up over 200,000, it's pretty magnificent. I don't know what I'm gonna say. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. It's
Okay.
wonderful.
Great. So, but we won't go through all the numbers. I shared with them the comparisons of 2022, 2023, and 2024. So we were acknowledged as a qualifier and recipient of the measure criteria for the state of Indiana on the 2nd of January. Those come back pretty quick. But I just found out a couple days ago that we have been awarded recognition for our 15th year. I have not received our formal letter, which we will have that public release that we'll put out in the newspapers as well as our Facebook pages and our website for the town, but that'll come here probably in the next few weeks. But I got the email status saying that it has been updated to reflect the district. So very exciting. And a new flag will be going up this summer. So we're gonna get many groups there this summer. I think it's somewhere around June or July. So I would definitely get with Donnie Meyer and everyone. Any questions about that?
Comment,
Yeah.
and I've shared with Denise, my favorite picture after the tornado was one that I took. I was standing on the sidewalk on Potter Street. I parked at the library in Waterloo. This was the day after, or within 48 hours. So and I wondered about the playground. So I walked up there, and the picture has, they've already, they have already begun the work and extracting everything that was down, but there's still quite a bit down. So you see all the mayhem on the ground and that tree flag
Oh,
is flying.
It's flying.
It has a, like the bottom border of it or something had been ripped off, so
Yeah.
it was flapping out in the wind
Mm.
too. But
It's survived.
it survived, that's, yeah, and of all the pictures, that was
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah. It makes me think of, oh, say, can you see?
Yes, yes. And then, the American flag, of course, is right above it,
Yeah.
and those were both still intact.
And that's something with all of the,
mayhem.
yeah, everything happened.
Yeah.
Well, then our third, line item for our old business, just a little quick update here for our 2025 poster contest that we are partnering with the elementary school here, just a different student. So, we're gonna share a little bit later, Gary's, presentation that she put together, but, I think I reached out maybe earlier, maybe the week after our meeting, I had intended to follow up with her and very kindly and quickly put this presentation together. Again, did an amazing job. So we were able to get that to the students on the 28th of January. So that gave them a full week of with the teachers, and they were able to do research as well as benefits of trees. And the theme this year is that healthy tree, healthy me. And just kind of how trees that work within our environment and how it's the direct relation to our own personal health and well-being. And so they then started February 3rd, that first week of February, they started
Yes.
doing and working on posters with the art teacher. So this year, last year, the deadline for the state entry for the school-wide winner was March 1st, so this year they go into April. So this gave them more weeks for the students to be able to stay more time.
Mhm.
And so they reached out and said, hey, we're actually ready to go. The students are excited. They met, dug right in. And what they're going to do is they're going to have their posters completed by the 14th of March. Then they go to spring break, the 17th through the 21st. And then upon return that next week, then the teachers are going to decide the top 3 winners of each of the classes. From there, they will kick it back to us, and then we will determine then the top winner for each class grade. We'll then submit that back to them, and then out of the 4 classes, then they'll decide those classes. And then that top winner will be submitted to the state entry on the 15th. So we're really excited about that. We had great success with the program. There was, every student made a poster. So that was, to me, the most exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we had 12 honorable mention students, and we had that one winner that was recognized as council last year. And she then also placed second place in state. So that made it extra special. But just knowing that every student was a part of that program, and they're able to recognize that, and we had a ceremony in the cafeteria last year, we'll plan on doing the same thing. So somewhere around April, I would say mid-April, closer to Arbor Day, then, we will do that. We're excited
And
about
I'm
it.
sorry, I missed. What age group?
Fifth grade, all.
Just
fifth
all
grade
six.
students. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it is limited to fifth grade students, both in public schools, private schools, and even homeschool is closed. Kim Collier, working, does an amazing job. And I will start working with the local businesses to gather those prizes for treat bags and everything.
How will you do 3 times 5, 15?
Oh, so we did, so all the students received, the 12 honorable mentions, we have 12 honorable mention bags.
Okay.
4 top classroom members, and then we had 1 final gift bag. So we think there's 16, 17.
17?
That's a lot of fun. So I'll update you on that when we meet in March. And then what we did last year, Julie and Loretta, when we, decided the top winner of each classroom, we just kind of came in here, it'll be one of those nights, we could always zoom that in as well. I just can't come in person, but we all just kind of joined in and took a look. We even had a couple of members that Dr. Lau stopped in earlier that day. And he, he gave his, little voting matrix, sheet there and, we were able to get that out pretty quick, so. All right, and then, President, Tanner, if you are okay with this, would you be
President
okay with me changing?
Who's that?
You are President. Would you be okay if I go to the new business and we'll come back to the old?
Sure,
business? Is that
yes, I
okay?
would be okay with that.
Okay, perfect. We can change the order a little bit. I think that will work, and then we'll kind of go in circles then, so. Okay. Okay, so then, speaking of the poster, contest and the presentation here, I wanted to share with you the presentation that Carrie put together. We put this on our page, our Urban Forester page on the town website, and I just kicked this out, hopefully in about earlier this week, but kicked out Facebook post on this that has a link to this page, so the community can have access to the program as well. But, I thought she did it. I love the artwork on it. That was
Yeah.
so cute. And she, went and covered the different benefits that trees offer. From the oxygen that it creates. Also taking up that carbon dioxide. The water benefits, with slowing down that rainwater, clean water. And then she benefit of cooling. Keeping the climate control, going for the environment.
I learned a new word. Evapotranspiration.
It's hard to say. I went in some classes and then, they say.
Yeah,
that.
right.
It's tough one to say,
That's
too. You have to kind of break it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also our immune system is boosted by trees. Lowering stress and just improving overall happiness and well-being. That was cute, the little student sitting there at the desk. And then of course, our big black kids.
Yeah, that's great.
It was Linda. Thank you again.
That's great, yeah.
And then, Loretta and Julie, you can find the other one from last year, but you know, Oak Creek, super good with the water, so there's another one there. A lot of good information. Okay. And then also I wanted to talk a little bit about, back to the presentation. We had a recent ordinance for unified development ordinance. So the unified development ordinance is kind of our guiding tool for all standards for development. So it covers not only developmental standards, but also covers our zoning ordinances. So that can require, what type of land uses can be in certain zoning districts. That can be residential, commercial, institutional, industrial, but then it also talks about, height limits, setback requirements, but then it also dives into things such as materials for the exterior materials of the structure, talks about lighting, signage standards, but then also part of that is landscape requirements. So there was a meeting that planning commissions talked about, and just kind of expanding our green space, our green street canopies, which is community, with being overall benefits that city those benefits, like Carrie outlined in her presentation. We wanted to foster, and in doing so, we were looking at the UDO, and the UDO requires public street trees, and those are trees within the public right of way. They're typically found along between either the street and the sidewalk, or sometimes then behind the sidewalk. So those trees are actually owned by the town of Pendleton. As new development comes in, they have to actually purchase and install. They have a 3-year maintenance on that, but then after that, it is up to the town to maintain and replace as necessary. But those landscape requirements They have perimeter, so site perimeter, landscape, buffering requirements. There's parking lot landscape requirements, plus lawns, tree planting requirements, there's pond, vegetation requirements in our, document. But with the street trees, the thing that it was, originally said was that those street trees were required for only major residential subdivisions. So what differentiates the major is a subdivision that's 4 lots or more, and a minor 3 lots. So it only was requiring those major further subdivisions that were registered. So in discussion, we kind of talked about the staff and some, actually discussed it at our meeting as well. We gave better support for that, as well as planning commission. And what we did was we expanded that requirement to cover not only the major residential, it also covers minor residential, but it also covers all subdivisions. So that could be an institutional subdivision, it could be a commercial subdivision, that might be like a cheese, in a business, restaurant, gas stations, any type of business related, service related type development. And also it includes our kind of a one-off development. So when we have a single lot development, it's not a part of subdivision, but it's commercial related, they also have to like treat. So just looking at that, the same requirements apply. They will take that linear frontage of the road and they'll divide it by every 90 feet. So that's where you keep it count. And then we put it not too, huge of a requirement, but it's enough to be able to get a free canopy coverage. It gives inviting space to our community as well. And also too, there's certain specifications for the can't be in conflict, fire hydrant, utilities, overhead, those types. So those things all still stay back and apply as well to the substation. And then we did add another little piece that if there was any conflict that this coverage could not be provided, the administrator can go even forward, just to be able to come in close. So that was what was passed. We shared with planning commission that your board gave favorable recognition for this. And they also then in turn gave favorable recognition to town council and town council. Last week. So,
How unique or not are we with other communities with this requirement?
yes, I think there are some communities, some larger cities, like Noblesville, Carmel, they really have boosted their requirement for street trees. But I would say we are kind of a lead, kind of ahead. It's not really common. Our landscape requirements are pretty in-depth, I think. And what I've seen in preparing to whether it's a county or other, especially town municipalities that are not really just big radio. We did good. So that kind of ends our new business. The only other piece that I wanted to share with you tonight, I've been in contact with Dana Berry and Eric Norris from Arbor Day Foundation. They actually had reached out and seen our submittal for our Twin City USA application and saw all the activities that we had taken place in the houses. And so they felt and were kind of probing inquiring on maybe the possibility that our elementary year already qualifies for a free campus program. So I wanted to run that by you. They said, and so I started asking more questions about that curriculum piece, that education plan, which is one of the goals, to be qualified. And we were under the impression that we had to have, several different learning exercises throughout the course of the year. Then you had to have your hands-on experience, and then you had to have your celebration or art. and free. But the curriculum people were concerned because we didn't know if we would need them. I don't know if they changed it, but they said that for a growing program, only really one lesson. Even if we had one lesson, 1 to 2 maybe for the first year, and if we want to combine it with the hands-on experience as well at the same time as Arbor Day, as long as we can show how all those goals are met and sharing number of students that participated, and providing proof and support of it, it would probably fall.
So what we do just for that tree planting and we give,
I
that
feel
little
like
lesson?
that with our lesson in the fall, the tree
Yeah.
planting, the poster contest, even they said about, because I said, the
Oh,
gal
yeah.
provided a presentation, that was an education piece to it. And adding more to it, the school is interested in later this spring, doing a STEM exercise at Falls Park. And so I gave her yours and Aaron's contact information, Julie, but they had done this 10 years ago. And they've been approved to be able to have a day at the park this spring for another field trip. So what they were thinking was 5 stations and lunch, picnic. They would bring their own stacked lunch, maybe 3 sessions in the morning, 2 sessions in the afternoon. And kind of wanted to know if there was any way that we can maybe help out with a couple of things. Thinking that maybe they expressed interest in having someone from DNR, maybe come and talk. I'm not reached out to DNR yet. I was even thinking that Andy Holloway, he is a park board member. He is with the water division, very knowledgeable. I think he did some type of exercise or something for the park board. I thought about reaching out to him. And then also maybe our committee running a station. I think that, it could be as simple as how to plant a tree, how to plant a tree, talk about the benefits of trees or tree identification. So maybe 1 or 2 stations we could get covered more easily. And then I thought about reaching out to Sherry, who used to work at the park. She works at Mountain State Park, and I'm sure that she'd be willing to share some information, if not maybe come and help out and run something about Annie. Because it's all, about engineering, mathematics, technology, so, and science. So I think that, giving kind of a little well-rounded, nature, experience, I think would be a lot of fun. So I think that if we could pull this off, which she's not asking us to take the full burden of this or anything, but I think that we can add in some pieces and, run some stations for her to help coordinate. I think adding all that, I cannot see now after my conversations with the
Right.
that they
That
would not
wouldn't-
qualify.
Yeah.
So are you okay with being on this conversation with
Yeah.
her?
Oh,
about
yeah,
how-
absolutely.
I think that they can be 1 year ahead, and they can go ahead and get that recognition, and then we'll fulfill it with, with the middle school and grow from there.
What grade levels was that field trip? Did they say
5th grade.
5th grade?
Yeah.
So we're, so 5th grade.
Now, I think it would be amazing, like maybe say next year that they can do that for 6th grade too. If we can hit 4th, 5th, and 6th, and
Because
maybe,
4th does the tree planting.
yeah.
5th does the poster. Yeah.
How old the 5th grade? I don't remember.
Probably 11.
Give or take.
So are we good with conversation, just to see
Yeah.
if, 'cause I really think that even if we did not have, and I'm gonna confirm that our Arbor Day celebration in the fall would suffice. I know
Yeah.
for Tree City USA, you can recognize Arbor Day anytime during the year. And we chose that because that we didn't have to plant the trees, or the school system didn't have to keep those waters, as closely over the grass. So, I would assume that it's gonna be the same. But if there's something that we can plant a tree during STEM Day at the park and celebrate Arbor Day that way. She doesn't know exactly what date yet. I can find that out, but I'm guessing probably they want to wait till somebody's like April.
Share her name again, please.
Kim Collier,
Okay, thank you.
there at the elementary. I know, I was really
Yeah,
excited.
that's
about it.
exciting.
I got the,
They're coming
back
to
and forth
us.
last time
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we've had community or comprehensive plan, downtown plan,
Mhm.
focus groups this week and had other things. And so I can't wait to talk to her more about it.
'Cause it's not been that long ago that we first even mentioned. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago when we first did the contest last year for the
Yeah,
poster.
yeah.
And look how it's all just
It's just
snowballs. from that,
snowballing
so,
already, yeah.
Yeah. I can think of all kinds of things we could do down there.
Agree. And one thing too, I expressed to our consultant for a comprehensive plan. I want to make sure that our urban forestry goals in some way is embedded in that plan.
Mhm.
To the next 5 years. Because I
Mhm.
think that, what you all are doing is so important, so valuable. And I think that I say, trying to find our identity for our community, a lot of it's focused on health and wellness. And I think that, what work that you do out of the board is all quite well in line. So I kind of wanted to have this conversation that kind of touch base. And I know Loretta, we talked about the youth piece of that too, and that was the other piece of that, so.
I'm thinking about could we have a station where they can look at our tree keeper inventory? And look at
Well, gotta
the,
bring in the technology.
yeah,
Yeah.
like have a,
Yeah.
cause I think they would.
Oh,
That's why she's president.
Yeah. That's why you get the big bucks.
Well,
I want a raise.
The community building should be ready
Mhm.
by then. Julie, we shared some pictures, then they're gonna have a huge TV.
Oh,
Oh,
That was
nice.
actually, installed yesterday.
Oh,
So
was it?
oh, so
we have new bright walls that
yeah,
cover
I
the
saw the
ground
painting,
paneling
yeah.
and new, refurbish the kitchen and kitchen cabinets and,
That'd be a
new
great
flooring
place
goes
to
in the
have
first
go
2
there
weeks
and-
of March. That's the
Nice.
biggest piece. Get rid of that floor.
Okay, so we'll make sure that we get this
Yeah.
coordinated sometime
Yeah.
later in our
Mhm.
spring. And I'll make sure that we find a time, Billy was scheduled there with the opening then.
Mhm.
That'd be perfect.
Now, I will tell you, April and May are almost.
But through the week even?
Not as much, there
Yeah.
are some openings. through
Cause this
the
would be a
week,
school day,
but
right?
It would during,
Yeah,
but you'd be
yeah.
surprised how
How
many
many
days
cities,
yeah.
organization.
Yeah, that use it, yeah,
Well,
Well-
I could do the technology thing with it, like my outlook.
yeah, yeah.
You got brainstorm on this, and
Yeah.
other topics, they can see individual that's in our community, that there's something, they can be of interest. And put something together.
If you hear a date from Kim,
Got it.
share that with me.
Okay.
I'll block it out.
Yeah. Well,
If
if you
possible.
sure about the use of the community building, you can lock that in soon.
And perhaps the large shelter
Right.
in case of inclement.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be a beautiful day. Yeah. You're right.
That'd be a great place to set up a station where you could plant small trees. Like you, kind of like what you did at the farmer's market on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yep.
It'd be a good place where we, as long as we don't let anybody get out in the water.
Yeah, I'm sure that they'll probably want to be close by the playground for
Mhm.
lunchtime and. Right. Perfect. Okay, so we'll switch over then to our.
It sounds like we've got some goals already.
Yeah.
So kind of take you away last month with some homework and. Just some of the things that we want to make sure that top priorities. Trying to, get through this year. There's some things that may not be able to tackle this year. Well, that's what we'll do. I'd like to still write these down and keep record of them. But just want to hear from you all of what, what is, you feel is really working well? It's some new things that, you want to look into or experience, have to be a part of, but then also how things get done. And I don't think that on your end, I mean, on for myself. Because, so first of all, I'll kind of make some notes here, but policy development and updates. This is kind of I know we talked about our approved tree list that we were waiting for, and I just need to touch base to see. I've not seen anything released, but Indiana DNR was working on approved tree list for communities to adopt. It was very thorough and very well done, but they weren't approved yet, finalized. But things like that, any of our planning documents, actually our ordinance itself as a body. That's been amended here in the last few years, talking about composition of our board, a little bit of minor tweaks, but nothing real major modifications or even deep diving deep. You might find the things that you want to change. So I think that those so I'm gonna hush up, but type away. Does anyone have anything that they wrote down for policy development?
Well, we've got a tree, well, now I don't have the word, a tree plan. Is there a document
Yes.
that was created in 2016?
Yes. Yes.
From
We have
Taylor?
What is it?
Taylor Maps?
Our tree management plan.
Tree management plan,
Oh.
okay.
And I spoke with Davy Resource Group. This was when we first brought on the tree program. And she said those, I said, how often are these up? She said, usually on those, it's a 10-year up. So that puts us at 2026, just right around the corner. So, that could be something that, we can put an RFI out. And what that plan does, it talks about, it kind of does an update on the inventory, but then benefits, but then it kind of looks in detail for where our tree species are located, the species kind of things. So, kind of overall kind of guidance. So I think you're really close.
We're close, doing that next year. So we need to keep that on the radar, kind of.
Want to add one, I know that Joe Scott, you mentioned, and I found it down on my notes, soil treatment for development. And, it's just very key that you bring back that existing soil back to, the lake. Sometimes they kind of take it and they take it away, and then the trees, they don't thrive anymore. So.
When they've got that much topsoil.
Yeah, so
So
that would be a recommendation to
Yeah.
a change to the UDO then? Okay.
And we would require that then on their technical plan.
Yeah.
Term. And conditions. We've had some come through, just long-term come through. The probably just used to always trying to provide that for some communities. So I need to still back on my record. Final. I
Fine.
come across that.
Yeah.
Couple times.
When I hear the word treatment, I think of chemicals.
Oh.
But this is more how you're treating the soil, right?
Yeah.
This is when
Yeah, if you
they
scrape it
start,
off.
they take
Oh,
all the
yes,
yeah,
topsoil
sure.
away. And sometimes they sell it. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't
Sure.
know. And then when they're finished and they bring topsoil back, they're not replenishing their breakdown most times.
Sure.
We ran into that on tree planting out in, what's that edition we were
Next
in?
to Maple Ridge. I don't know that.
No, it was out there on 13,
Oh. okay.
not Sun, not,
Summer Lake,
not
Not
Summer
Summer
Lake,
Lake,
the
there's one
newer
next to
one,
it.
new one.
south of it.
Oh,
Yeah. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about
We
now.
went to plant those folks' tree and we got
Oh,
maybe,
when we did
I mean,
that.
it was like digging into concrete.
That's what it was. next
Well,
to
we
Maple
noticed
Ridge.
even
It was-
on
we could
Franklin.
not do it.
I mean, on
Yeah.
Franklin Street, they didn't, remember? They didn't, there was gravel in that.
Mhm.
I mean, it was,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe
that
all those trees
homeowner-
survived,
That
really.
homeowner was very understanding. He goes, this kind of gives me a great insight as to why I've spent thousands of dollars to get grass grow.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
That
Yeah.
is so common.
Yeah.
At Washington. In Fitchburg.
they're always
It's
coming
the same thing.
to,
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
to fix it, yeah. it's like-
yeah.
I don't know, we gotta start. Yeah, that'd be nice. It would be amazing to be able to. That would be a huge selling point, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else on policy? Okay, what about education and training? We have that tree steward program to any of the DNR, they'll offer that, few times throughout the years, and they'll also offer a refresh report. So if that is something that, you all would like to participate in, the town will pay for the fee. So, some of our trainings are free, some of you have to be, and you know. That's something
I
that,
think, yeah, whatever we're able to do, I think the goal might be for everybody to go to something during the year. But, you know,
Kind of training.
That's what we did.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
had a
was 2
2-day
days.
training
But then
and
there was a refresher. you did this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. on
Yeah, that was a
understanding
lot of
how
info,
trees
the 2
grow,
day. It's like-
how to plant, how to
Soil
prune,
composition.
soil composition. I
And it
mean,
was experts that spoke at each
Yeah.
session.
yeah. It was,
We did one on pruning.
yeah,
We did tree identification. That
yeah,
was like
yeah.
a
was-
college course
that
for
was
me.
really hard.
Well,
That
or
was
how,
really
or
hard.
how
Yeah.
phloem and xylem
Yeah,
and
yeah,
all, it's
all
like,
that.
oh,
Yeah. No, it was very
it was very,
interesting.
yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
remember? No, I don't.
Well, I
I don't
remember the
remember.
words.
found my leaf collection.
I did have to do a leaf
I
collection,
remember the words, it was like, I don't remember.
No, I don't
But it
remember.
was,
but that was
yeah,
very informative.
Yeah.
Those 2 days were well
Yeah.
worth the time.
So then do you pass it on to other individuals, so a small groups or something?
We haven't,
Just
no,
but we
use it
could.
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
Demonstrations. Mhm.
And who was that through? The
DNR.
The DNR, yeah, the, yeah.
What was that one that we went to at Southern Indiana?
Oh, yeah, you went,
What
was
was
that the
that?
refresher?
The one southern.
That was different town.
The stage recognition for Three Cities USA.
Oh, yeah.
on form. And then they had some guest speakers that talked about some different topics, so, yeah, so. and That was nice, it
Mhm.
was a little far up in the.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes, I do.
Talk about that, comes around a gas or something, right?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
No, I know, it's that far off of the road.
path.
But I will put that through city forum, and then the symposium,
Mhm.
that was held this past December, so. But they usually, and like that tree, steward course, it comes down and there's a test. But it was almost kind of a community test, they just
Mhm.
kind of ask the questions and everyone answers, so they make it where it's not, you know, too intimidating and it's fun, and then that refresher course, to me, that was the purpose. To me, I almost felt like that we, you know, where the refresher course seemed like an introduction to kind of build on
Yeah,
to then the two.
and that probably would have been enough for people like us. We didn't, yeah, we didn't need to get
Yeah.
We didn't need to know that much.
Mhm.
It was interesting that it was
Mhm.
a couple days. I thought, my God,
Good to know. It was too much to remember.
The other thing is the refresh course. I requested the DNR, I've not heard back from her yet, when we're gonna do it, but, I mean, now that we've got the community building updated and having the audio capabilities there, I'd like to host one. I think that would be great.
I think I'd love that.
Anything else on education and training? About public education and outreach. Talk about what Loretta said.
Yeah, I'd like to see us maybe do more farmers markets.
Okay.
Or at least two, maybe three.
Three or four this year.
Or four, maybe.
Once a month.
Once a month.
We got May, June, July, August.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
only
well.
5 months.
September.
Yeah,
There's only 5 months of
well,
it.
let's say 3 or 4.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Facebook, that's to me is outreach, keeping our Facebook.
As you can see, it's been very, very hit and miss.
Yeah, I know. That's,
Because of my, time on that. Do you feel that once a week post, is that, would that be a good goal? Yeah, for
you know,
you or couple times a month, what do you?
I feel like a couple times a month is
do
plenty.
too.
Because I don't think anybody wants to, yeah. There's just so much, yeah.
Alright. Is there more of a focus, that is another question I had, that you would like to lean more into, that you want kind of in topics? Series, I guess, or just, not really be tied, as far as the content? Is there
Exactly.
content?
In the past, have we done much sharing of what the committees doing?
We did
Yeah.
cover just kind of follow up, cover things like we did the poster
Mhm.
content, farmer's market.
Sure.
When we did the tree planting, when we do this high school or the school planting,
Mhm.
yeah, we usually, yeah. Yeah,
We did some different kind of property care for a tree. Had those type of. Cover.
had a mulch.
If there's things with the stage or things with park, kind of like that.
I kind of like it being a little bit of variety and not trying to stick, because you don't know what might interest
Mhm.
somebody, what interests one person might not.
I
someone
think
else. So
pictures always draw
pictures,
interest
yeah.
if they're pictures of what's really happening right here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
Yeah,
relatable.
yeah, okay.
but it looks like,
Interesting to find out what's not here, though.
Yeah.
The weird things to pull.
Uh-huh.
It was a great book at school. I looked at a couple months ago about how trees talk to each other.
Ooh,
oh,
So interesting, the connectedness.
yeah,
of the
that would be
trees.
interesting.
It's something you wouldn't see here, but
yeah.
there's exotic things. Very
Yeah.
interesting occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
I was fascinated anyway.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
And I think we have enough things going on. I think that will generate some, we'll have our poster coming up.
Yeah.
We can talk about the K-12 program and when that
And
gets
that
better
gets
defined.
implemented.
And then that gives,
And always having Scott do an article when something big like that's
yeah,
taking place to
Yeah.
make sure we get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know not everybody takes that Times Post, but a lot of people do.
And he's always very respectful
Mm-hmm.
to doing his covered up from the social contact, he's done that, he's bigger. But, I think that it's, even maybe even, well, I think our two city USA.
Mhm.
You know, think of different ways that we can get, more presence there.
So when we put that new flag up, they can
Yeah.
make sure we get, taking
I'm
pictures.
thinking education on what's environmental things that we have control over with the home, whatever that could harm your trees versus
Things not to do.
healthy practice.
Right.
Yeah.
If you will.
Like spraying weed killer on a windy day,
Or, yes, yeah.
so it gets on the branches of your tree.
And something else comes to mind. So I dealt with this at home with an oak tree. And I dealt with it in the park with an oak tree, that there was either a growth or holes in the leaves. And after research, mine at home get these little galls on it,
Yeah.
there's really nothing to do with it. But I could see someone, especially with a younger tree, thinking, oh, I need to spray.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then Donnie was actually concerned about a small oak there in the, to the west of the pool area. And, yeah, I researched this. It is not going to hurt the overall
Yeah.
health of the tree.
Yeah.
And whatever's caused this hole has already gone.
Well, see, so when you do some research like that, that could be something you could pass on
That's
to
what I
Denise
yeah.
and then, yeah.
I think
And
that
then,
would be really helpful. because
Yeah.
People panic because
Yeah.
they don't know.
Mhm.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
They think that they can set it and then they start spraying it and it's not totally.
The spray or not to spray, that's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more educational,
Yeah.
hands-on for homeowners.
yeah,
I think another thing, and I see that there's a tree right at the, down at the end of the block is. It's got just the English ivy off.
Oh,
And
yeah. Yeah.
It just would not, just be warned, it's not, I mean, it looks interesting, but it's not interesting. And just things like little tips that might help people.
I can think of another thing under this public education and outreach is perhaps like when the school or somebody has a career day, that we help implement that there's somebody representing DNR, different careers that involve environmental.
Our
Work.
librarian at the high school has career day frequently.
Does she?
Great. Very, very. Jenny, Cecil. Jesse. Her last name's Jesse. Jenny Jesse.
But I think that's something that would be really important, even in the middle school, just to get that planted that, these are good jobs, necessary jobs.
We have career day frequently now.
Yeah. Really.
Great.
Well, and Drew Holloway has
Mhm.
8 or 9 Purdue interns with him all summer long.
Oh,
Yeah. His work for me is very fascinating.
mhm.
It's Andrew Holloway, but he goes by Drew. He is with Delaware County. It is it's a side business that was created by this one individual hounding the town for a long time, and they finally gave it, and this was like in maybe the late 70s, 80s. So his entity sits outside of the water department. And they're doing water quality testing all throughout Delaware County. Weekly. And so his initiative is more, it alerts them sooner if they do see a water quality issue, and they can track down quicker, maybe those that are not using wise practices. It's very, very important. But he primarily uses his interns in the summer for fish study.
And he's with Ball State. This is,
Yes.
yeah.
He is with Boston. And I was saying, maybe they're not all from Purdue, maybe there's a combination, but I know there were a number of them from Purdue. And he's a very personal guy and does good in his
Mhm.
presentations.
And he lives right down here on State Street.
Oh, I know that. I know he, in the Purple House.
No,
No.
that's
Oh,
Taylor
somebody
Metz.
else. Okay.
Kind of across the street and a little bit back this way on the opposite
Oh,
side. street.
Yeah, across the street.
Right on the curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right on our page. Anything else on public education and outreach? And how about tree planting project, tree care project?
Didn't we talk about the trees in the park? Needed some pruning, right? As around the wall.
I think, yeah, I think those trees around the walking path, we'd like to prune. And we could do that as an,
I will. Yes,
And then we all,
I'll make sure that they
go to
know.
Joe's house afterwards for.
Yes, we can.
yeah.
And I'll sit on my
there we
front
go.
porch.
There you go.
Well, we let you know when we plan to do it. and We're just walking out the road.
Right, right.
You see the,
Leave it within with the-
Yeah, well, yeah.
Make a
Dr.
prune.
Lyle's
Thing,
got
yeah,
the,
that's
got the
crazy.
big.
well, I thought you
pruners.
talk about trimming tree.
Yeah, well. that
The,
was a tree trimmer already.
The Pendleton Garden Club, they get those, tree seedling from the state. Yeah, they get the seedling tree from the state. And they basically, when they have the show, they kind of pass it
Oh,
out.
they sell those, do they sell, in the May, they have that, yeah, they give them away, don't they? At the
Yeah, something
when
like
they
that.
do
So,
their May
so if we,
garden plant sale.
so if we want to promote certain kind of tree, we can get those tree pretty inexpensive from the state. And then we have the farmer market, we can kind of pass them out and draw interest from the public. And then treat them, like sometime you can get 100 of them for like 20 cents a piece,
Maybe-
depending on
maybe-
the type of tree.
Maybe if we do a farmer's market in September would be a good time because we're fall planting.
Get those from the state forest.
Oh,
Cause I've gotten. them
you've gotten
before,
some before.
50 and 100 at a time.
Yeah,
At this very time.
It's a
I know the
seedling.
Madison County,
Mhm.
who does that?
Soil and
The
water,
Soil and Water
water.
does that, but those are,
They usually do
They're-
both Arbor Day.
no, that's in the
Is there-
fall,
is it?
yeah.
Okay.
You can
Yeah, I don't
order-
know if they do them in,
You can order them now,
Yeah, you can order them, yeah.
yeah.
now and then they will deliver it, planting
Look
time.
into that.
Very rare, most of the time.
It depends on what kind of tree you want to plant, because they got almost anything.
No maples.
Well, yeah, they have all different colors.
We've got too many. Too many maples.
One thing also I want to put on your radar is our community and urban forestry grant. That is, due, September 25, they'll have their next round.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a small, I mean, the smaller grant. This was the 500, oh, I think that, I'm sorry. But it's something that we can do, that there is no, that each year is small requirement of $1,000. I think it's not, so it's a smaller project, if you want to do, like 2,000,
And who's that with?
in the end,
Okay.
you know, the one grant that they had a couple of cycles through, like, very for government support out there as well, and they were bigger match, I mean, they were $250,000, some of them $100,000 grant, but those were federal dollars and trees. COVID, there, there was a social justice piece for farming, and we didn't qualify for that part of the incentive, but we raised it, kind of be on the review. But this was a smaller scale, it doesn't have that requirement, but it still does want to
Well, when you look at our 3-year history here, we've removed almost twice as many trees as we've planted. And we have some kind of goal to not let that continue, because we're going to be losing, I mean, if we don't replace them. And I just feel like in our town, and we know this, I mean, the trees are aging out. And I don't know if that could be a grant to somehow replenish trees that we've lost. I mean, or have had to remove for one reason or another, that died, or.
Yeah, now, for the most part, I would say probably 23 that we have to remove over here, they're street lights that have died.
Yeah.
But sidewalks.
Mhm.
Was fallen and damaged, homes.
Yeah.
Whatnot, but the rest of them are under power lines and utilities. So that's where the bulk of those numbers come. So
Mhm.
they're probably not trees or places we like to replant, but I totally agree.
But we don't have to replant them in the
Yeah,
same place. We can
yeah.
put them somewhere else.
And that's what
That's
I
gonna
wanted
be
to
s-
say, like,
yeah.
how in the ordinance, the way they are placing. Even if they're smaller structures.
Yeah.
For one power, they don't have to be huge trees and a huge cost that making that commitment this year.
Mhm.
We are.
Yeah, I don't know if we can replace all 100%, or do we try to, I mean,
It was a program that moved to have started probably with 40 years ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they've been using trees, and a lot of this, they're probably, like, they're not mostly a big trees, a lot of kind of brush type trees.
Mhm.
Other stuff. They call them hackberry type trees, like
Mhm.
these trees like that, but still.
It's
as
still-
I See that number going down. Planting.
yeah, yeah.
So much residual do we, none of the knows, how much residual from trees that may have been damaged by the tornado. That ultimately weakened to the point
Yeah.
that they're compromised, if you will.
That's a really good question. I know we lost somewhere around 400 to 500, like 300. But as far as trees, whether or not did it weaken them, and that's why we lost some of them more. I think naturally on maple trees, that's what we're seeing, we're losing a lot. We're losing those because they're kind of immobilized. Expecting to see that they also too, they want something to get.
Sure.
And I wonder if they would have survived longer,
Mhm.
if they want planted as trees. But yeah, I know in our tree keeper system, it didn't really, they kind of updated the inventory, but they didn't notate if there was any type of sign on the PCS or, like maybe it's off the limb or whatnot. You let it fall to it, have a shorter lifespan.
Or maybe it wasn't approved correctly when, if it did lose. Could create some.
Well, you can
disease.
live forever. Thousands of years, we don't kill them. And most of the trees we lost is because we killed
We put them in the wrong place, we trim them wrong.
them. Trees, all kinds of trees.
Yeah. Also,
The fall, something come by.
Oh, yeah.
we do have that in the especially because of our utility and the power line. That those, small, with those cases, do that in part of it, but, it depends on that. I'm not seeing, down the
Yeah.
road, you see this D-shaped
Yeah.
tree, and you see the line, like, find out home. Anything else as far as tree planting, repair, pilot?
I have one more piece to share that's, I'm excited about. I was contacted by a gentleman out of Hamilton County. He's a master gardener and he just has a passion for helping communities with invasives. And he's actually gonna, hopefully, if it works out, he's going to be at the March meeting for Friends of Baltimore. He would like to help in a day or two this spring, getting a group together to start working on the invasives in we the amount of them is concerning. I had conversations with Sharon when she was there. And we'd take a 5-minute walk with her and one thing. It's wonderful. But specifically, and Robert and his wife walked their dog in the park and he was saddened by how much invasives we have in this park. And so mainly his focus will be on Tree of Heaven and honeysuckle. And ultimately, that is going to add or hurt the benefit of our trees, you know, not just in the park, but invasive for the community as a whole. And I don't think there's been enough recognition of the concern of invasives. So this starts that process. And it's not just, oh, one day he's gonna do it. And
Yeah.
he's, you know, he's talking, if we get a large enough group, and he's reaching out to the couple other people there in Hamilton County that may come to the meeting as well. You know, that would have to be an ongoing
Yeah.
goal,
Yeah.
5-10 year project. But his vision of a day's work means we need wood chippers and we need trucks to haul off, you know, the amount. And there's certain times of the year that are better to do this than others. So I'm excited to introduce some invasive control in the park.
Have they found any ways to control it? You're speaking of these Asians, when you said,
Was it Asian? I'm not sure, but
yeah, that's what was brought in that I can't kill it, and my spreads like crazy, if it's underground.
yes,
It's Asian,
yes,
honeysuckle,
yes.
the riot of trees.
That's
Yeah,
what happens
I
with
cut
tree
it, cut
heaven
it,
too.
cut it. But
I know
nobody's,
trees heaven. Well,
I've
you've
read
seen it,
state
you just don't
reports.
recognize.
Hadn't found how to kill it. So I cut it and dig it out and it's
Because
just
later
underground
people
somewhere else.
feel this.
What is a chemical for the soil? If
There's,
you cut it, you have to, when you cut it for that, you kill the lip.
So it can't spread more
But
underground.
yes,
That's,
yes,
but they,
there's a,
everybody I've asked about it and
It's a
read
toll.
about it,
It's a toil down.
it's nothing that's really,
been effective.
yeah, maybe somebody used it last fall. I cut it all the time.
Yeah, you cut it, and you paint it, and you cut it area with toil down. It'll kill the lip.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
And-
it's almost impossible when you have a widespread
Spread.
area. I
Yeah.
have 12 acres. And I'm cutting all the time. I can
Yeah.
imagine what's in the park. So what's the other, the Green Heaven? Yeah. What about the spread of the, here?
There, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I noticed
there-
that on 38 there, there's a section that's just like everywhere.
Yeah,
don't know.
that,
don't know
I
if it's
didn't
probably-
realize that,
no,
that was so easily spread. So
No.
that's a trashy tree.
Mhm. Mhm.
What's a week?
Well, you have to keep it jointed inside. Wow, beautiful for a short time.
It's Darwinism.
Pardon?
It's Darwinism, survival of the fittest.
Well, I think I fight back.
I get to be a part of removing 5 Bradfords and replacing them here in town this year.
That's not replacing the new grass.
No,
I think that they, make it to where, they can agree. could not even-
Yeah, I
They
think,
can't
I
sell them
think
now.
they can't even sell them, yeah. Yeah.
So, who's up here, urban forestry management. Um, One thing I had down was that I'd like to see the memorial tree inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see is actual, what our procedure is on memorial trees. I don't know if there's a written, is there a written procedure? Okay,
For the application process.
Yeah.
All that. Okay.
but but then to add to that, some way to get that information into our tree keeper. So that's our, we haven't been able to keep it in. How to submit, how to,
It's there.
there is a field
yeah,
in
I
the
know
tree
that,
keeper,
yeah,
right? Right?
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, there is documentation. How
Just
many
need-
were lost in the
Yeah.
tornado?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's data to work with, is what I'm trying to say.
But if we know at least going forward that we're getting new trees added, and then I think as we get the inventory done, when they cycle through and do the inventorying, we can add them as we can, or
Well, and that would help fill in the holes of perhaps the data
the
that we
data,
do have.
yeah.
Sherry and I did sit down last year and there used to be 10 or 12 trees. If you wanted to plant a memorial in the park, there were 10 or 12 trees to pick from. We took that list and made it only native Indiana trees and only gave them 3 selections for a spring planting and 3 for a fall planting. So we tried to shore that up a little bit. And I'm more hands-on with
Yeah.
working with the people and the tree place, you know. We're encouraging people and it works and it's a lot cheaper for them. We're encouraging them to choose existing trees and not just every person wanting to plant a new.
Yeah.
It's $300 for a new one and it's $125 if you just choose an existing.
Existing tree, yeah.
So we have more in this last year, I will say, we had more choose than existing than,
Okay.
I mean, I think we only had 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that, yeah, kind of summarize. That would be good for us to kind of, max, they plan for 7, weeks, and then.
So we'll-
So we have a spreadsheet of the data from 24, just of 1 year's activity. if you will.
Yeah.
What's the purpose for the memorial tree? Is it go to get more tree? Or is it go to memorial the person?
Good question on what the original intent of this program was, because it goes way, way back, a couple of decades at least, more than that.
Yes, see, it's no more.
It's more, I think so. I think it's more offering the community for one run scenes. The park is planting trees, you know, pretty much each year. It's just that when we plant them, we get the choice more so of what we want to plant and then let
where.
the people
Yeah.
pick the existing ones. It allows park more control. Overall.
Putting them in the right place, the right
Right.
tree in the right place.
So if we are
Yeah.
successful in promoting that program, do we have enough room to plant all the trees because we have 10,000 people?
Right, right. I know, we were just contacted first of the year, you know, we get hit up by all the salesmen, and this one was wanting that, you know, it's this software program and this whole initiative to market the memorial tree program. And it's like, well, you know, we have a wonderful amount of acres, but we do only have so much space, and
It markets itself.
it does. It
Okay.
does, although, yes,
I mean, you have to have a plan,
right.
but you don't
Right.
want to big market it.
So we have room for 10,000 trees if people want.
No,
No,
They're especially not where they would want them.
and I don't think there are 10,000 people that want trees. in
Well,
Farmington.
if you look at the cemetery, there are more people in the Brampton.
Well,
Well, and now
There's,
with the,
there are getting to be fewer people in the ground
Yeah.
also.
now that you can, purchase a bench,
yes,
that's a great way to do a memorial to somebody.
it
Yeah.
is.
And then I think it would be great if we had a picnic table. Way to replace some of
We
the
actually-
picnic tables
We
that you
actually
could
do have,
donate.
that's
You
part of,
can,
that's one of the options. It's just, so the bench,
because it enhances
If
the
they're gonna-
setting where the trees are, you know,
Mhm.
makes it more
it does,
accessible.
you're right. What I've noticed is if they're gonna spend that much money, because the bench is $800 in itself,
Oh.
and a picnic table is more than that.
Whoa,
So if they're going that much,
yeah,
they're choosing the bench over the picnic
Yeah.
table.
Besides the
Yeah, I
price to
think
pay
that-
for picnic table.
oh,
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think these picnic tables are more than,
Right.
right, they're the material of the new benches. So,
Mm,
you know,
like it
the-
behind the community building.
Yeah, it's, composites.
Yeah.
The house is much more lasting than the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Nope.
Yes. Yeah, anything on urban forestry management, I put back the planting. Great,
Yeah.
removal. More trees.
And I think that's enough.
What
We've got a recognition. Yeah.
USA or PO program. There is a growth, award that is offered to property. We can. I'm not, it's kind of you go above and beyond type, you know, just wanted maybe through getting established, or cases all programs and things, and follow. It's not like that criteria that I've been able to apply. I'll definitely keep that, you know, radar, we develop those, and we'll see if next time that we can. Inquire about. I know one long-term goal I'd love to, we have a move of freedom, but not next year, but maybe our freedom to be as a certified partner. So there's different whole levels of that first level, I think. So I think definitely.
I think something, yeah, I think that's something is a longer term range plan, but to keep that on our radar and how we can start to
Mhm.
get that pulled together. And where and all that.
Okay, so what about field trips, site visits, anything? You know, one thing that, had conversation with Terry Culture from,
Yeah.
Forestry was looking at doing a joint training session of
Mhm.
arboretum. Doing a walk through arboretum, and sharing about how it all got started, and what things that she's adding to the program since then.
Yeah.
So I think with her,
Mhm.
we think about doing something like that this summer.
That'd be
That'd be
great.
great. Yeah.
I used to take students on a combination tour of the trees and the tombstones.
Mhm.
Because I took them down with the bus, you know. And then it's where they go. But yes, it was good. The wide trees are so depicted on tombstones, it's never interesting.
Ooh,
They're all significant, symbolic, certain concepts of trees like the oak. and so forth. It's just what we do.
Any other places, any other? Parks or? Freedom Orchard, and then have a orchard there. That kind of, or that small. You can have it up in the. Smith and summer. Having them. Grab that fruit and take it all. That was another. Opportunity that I heard about. Do you think of anything that? Hey, is there anything that didn't really kind of fit this category that you wrote down that?
Did we talk about Shelbyville something? Was that?
Oh, Shelbyville, yes. They were in the larger, study grant, they're reviewing on. And they weren't for sure if they're gonna do it for the first planting, the spring, or next fall. But they're going to start with their inventory, and then on people, and then they're going to be planting over a course of a couple of years. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So they're gonna split them up in like 100, 100, maybe 50, each season, fall and spring. But inviting us to come and be planted, to be able to kind of help out. Or we can split up them and just be other cells in other things. So she just had to either reach out or
Yeah.
keep in close contact. So yeah, something like that.
What?
Just bring them down.
Okay.
They didn't have ordinance, they just kind of sent them all the stuff that, and then tell them, find some words. That's the only.
Maybe, once a quarter or so, we could just kind of review this and kind of just remind ourselves of what we wanted to do, kind of. We don't need to do it every month, I don't think, but I think it would be helpful just to take a moment and go through it again. Anything from our newest members that they want to add?
They're getting more excited. This was so pleasant. I'll wait for it.
Again, very appreciative to, if you allowed us to join you.
Well, good.
Even if we got sat in the corner.
It's not the corner, it's the front row.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to get my friend to come to a meeting.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe we should invite our friend to come to a meeting.
Well, that means we have to have a friend.
Or enemy. If you don't have a friend, you can invite your enemy.
Enemy.
Yeah, we'll start figuring it
They
Okay.
can show up.
All right, I am going to adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.